what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through, you have the leg loop,
No?
and you have tie-in loop. And what I'm going to do now is trace the thing back through. So it's going to go through here, cinch it down nice and close to the harness, and now it's going to go around this way. Got a nice little loop right there, it's open, right through there. And then I'm going to go back around this way, and then I go back through here. And now you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then no less than a dollar bill's length of tail left over. That's it. That's your figure 8. A lot of different ways to teach this, and sometimes I think violence is a good way to get things stuck in people's heads. So basically I start with this much, start with a loop. So I'm going to make Bob. I'm going to choke Bob. I'm going to come back around and poke Bob in the eyeball. There's your figure 8. That's how you start it. Now, whoever's going to climb this first will get you tied in. Certain climbing gyms will teach this. They'll take the carabiner and you go through here and then through here. That's where the rope goes, not a blade device or a carabiner. I mean. What this does is it orients the ATC like this, and it causes it to cross-load. You want it to have it like that, but even if it's like this, it can pop in here when you don't even realizing it, and you're cross-loading your carabiner. It's significantly weaker this way. Also, what's going to happen is the rope's going to go through in a funky way. It's going to cause a twist, and after a while, you will permanently ruin your rope. It'll actually twist it to the point where the sheath and the core will separate, and basically you have a ruined rope. It's done. It's trash. Turned into a rug. But if Jim's teaching this, it's incorrect. That's just not the right way to do it. And this is called a belay loop for a reason. It's triple stitched. It's got 3 different layers. And there's been only one situation where someone's harness broke, well, the blade device broke. And that was because it was an incredibly old harness. It had lots of use and it was worn quite a bit. And what was sad, it was actually a very accomplished rock climber. And it was something that was completely avoidable. So basically, this is your standard ATC right here. This is on more harnesses on the market than any other device out there. ATC stands for Air Traffic Controller. It's a black diamond piece of equipment. Here you go. Thanks. And then you have the ATC XP. This one that's right here. The XP means extra protection. It's got some teeth on there, and it's made for like skinnier ropes, or maybe you have a person that's a little bit larger in the group. You can use this, and it has extra friction through there, basically. And then that's your standard tube style blade devices, and you have brake assist devices. The brake assist is pretty much these things right here. This is called a gree-gree. There's a few others on the market, but the gree-gree is by far the most popular. This is the first style that came out, and it was this design's been around for a long time. But it's basically, it's got a camming device in there that locks down the rope automatically. So here's that. It came out just recently, past couple of years. They redesigned it. They made it smaller and lighter. This is the gree-gree 2. So you can see the difference. It's a little bit smaller, but this is a great device to have. Although it's kind of expensive. It's about $100 for this device. As opposed to the ATC, the standard ATC I just showed you, it's about $16. So it's a bit of a difference in price. But that's it. Top roping is also known as a slingshot belay. And it's about the safest way you can rock climb. So he's going to shoe up right now. This is how you load it. And the plate closes over that. And then you clip it in the carabiner. I'm going to clip it in though.
Oh yeah, huh?
Like this. And you lock her down. So now what this does is it orients the rope going straight through like this. And when it goes to lower, it's going to lock and you push the rope over like this. This is the friction plate right here. And then this bar pulls back and it releases that rope. And that's how you lower someone. It takes a little bit to practice to kind of get used to it, but taking up the slack is the same thing as using the ATC. It's no different. For the longest time, a lot of climbing gyms were teaching this method right here, where you do this method. This is actually incorrect. The reason why is because with an ATC, your hand's already up in a weird position, The rope is going straight through. There's no friction whatsoever. So when the person falls, it rips through the person's hands and you have a bad situation. The way it's taught now, the blade is like this. You do this number. That method right there pretty much ensures that the rope is staying in that break position. Plus, when you lock someone off, your wrist is straight. As opposed to being like this, it's caught in kind of a funky, twisted position. At the end of the rope, this is the wrong end, but the end of the rope over there, I have a knot tied, and it's just called closing the system. So basically, you just wrap around this way, and it goes back through here. And that's a fisherman's knot. Now, when you lower someone, this will suck into the device just in case that rope is too short for the route. It's just a good habit to get into. It's called closing the system. You should always do that, no matter if the route's short or what. It's just a good habit. 4 things you always check before you rock climb to make sure the climber's knot is correct. Make sure his harness is double back. So 2 things right there on him. 2 on me is to make sure that the belay is correct and that my harness is correct. Those are 4 things you always do a quick visual of. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through, you have the leg loop,
No?
and you have tie-in loop. And what I'm going to do now is trace the thing back through. So it's going to go through here, cinch it down nice and close to the harness, and now it's going to go around this way. Got a nice little loop right there, it's open, right through there. And then I'm going to go back around this way, and then I go back through here.